Should college athletes be paid? Some people are lucky enough to go into college with full scholarships, including housing, food, tuition, and all expenses. This is a dream of most athletes in high school. But what about the people that don't receive the full ride scholarships to UCLA, Duke, and UT? Today, I would like to explain to you why college athletes should be paid while they're in college. This information was gathered from College Express, NCAA recruiting facts, and CBS News, and also some personal knowledge of mine. College athletes should be given money during their time in college because they bring in lots of money from March Madness to the playoffs they have in football. There's a part they put in so much time and effort into these things every day, and their worth ethic is incomparable to anyone else's. Let's start by talking about some of the financial problems that even going to college brings. Not every athlete in college gets financial aid. In fact, only 59% of all student athletes receive some level of education. That is a direct quote from one of my sources, and to make things worse, the average scholarship is only $11,000. This means that these $11,000 only cover 1 year of an in-state college, and it only covers one half a year of an out-of-state college, and of a private school, it only covers not even 1/3 of a year. There is some particular sports, 6 to be exact, that only offer a full scholarship or nothing at all. Athletes receive a full ride or no ride at all. That means they either do really super well and get everything paid for, or they don't get anything paid for, and everything is left up for them to pay. As presented, scholarships are rarely given in high numbers to pay off all tuition, food, housing, and for the student athlete. If these athletes were paid, they could pay off all of their expensive schooling, living expenses, tuition, books, everything with the money they receive from being a student athlete, showcasing their skills. Some forms that they could do this are money could come straight from the NCAA, from advertising that they do with all these athletes. Instead of using this money for them, they could pay these athletes with these advertisements, the money that they get. And they also get money from televising games like March Madness. They get tons and tons and tons of millions and millions of dollars. And just to pay to televise it, they could use that money that they use to televise it, they could use it to give to the players instead. And other players can make money during college, even if it wasn't a direct pay from them. They could get it from other organizations. Like it's illegal for student athletes to sign deals with like shoes or clothing. If they let them do this, then they could get money from the media and stuff like that as revenue and use it for college. Like I said, it's illegal for them to sign deals with anyone's partnerships, all of the above. It's illegal for them to make money off of their skills, period. As you can see, there's multiple ways that athletes are held back from making money. From them just showcasing their skills to advertising, anything they do with their skills is illegal for them to make money off. Athletes can make money off of their abilities, whether that's getting it directly paid from NCAA, like I said, or from business moves that they make. We would see a wider range of potential in athletes in sports if we could pay these kids. For example, Derrick Rose had a very perplexed life when it came from moving to high school to college, because he knew that if he was old enough and the times were different, that would have gone straight to the league from high school. He wanted to do this because his family desperately needed the money, and he constantly had this argument with his mother that, oh, if I was older, then I could just go straight to the league. And if these athletes were paid in the college while they can do what they love and make it like a career, then his family maybe wouldn't have had to go a couple months without electricity or gas. Imagine all the skilled potential college players that we miss out on because athletes, instead of going to college because they can't afford it, they go out and look for jobs instead of pursuing their dreams in sports. Some athletes can't even think about going to college. It's just not in their family's budget. And if they receive some type of college revenue, then they wouldn't even need to worry about their families, and they wouldn't need to worry about their tuition, housing, and food. They could just know that I have steady income coming in from sports that I'm doing. There isn't much that we can do personally because it's all up to the NCAA to say, all right, we're going to start paying them directly from advertisements and stuff. But some things you could do is help these student athletes in the classroom. Look at the student athlete as a full-time job with lots of overtime work, bouncing between weight room and the field, the court, and the classes to film sessions for their advertisements. For example, NCAA requires athletes to miss out on class sometimes in events. This means that they're forced to work harder and work faster to keep up with their grades and not get dropped from classes and end up failing the semester and stuff like that. If we can't pay these athletes for their work ethic, we should at least, as a student, be able to help these kids. You know, you could help them if they miss out on lectures in class, they miss out on homework and any assigned work. You could help out these kids. It is a no-brainer that students athletes work for everything they have, but we're missing out on a ton of potential that we reject. And if we pay these athletes, it could be like a paid internship where they're working towards a career, but they're also making money. Again, the work ethic is crazy. They work nothing less than 36 hours a week. And like CBS News says, because of the huge time commitment, as well as time away from campus, Division I athletes will often not be able to major in rigorous disciplines. This means that in classrooms, they can't challenge themselves. They have to choose the easier classes to get by, or else they're going to fail them. They sacrifice so much, and giving these student athletes a form of income could solve not all but some of their problems.